What's up? What's up? You got the original Lone Wolf coming at you on a Tuesday morning. Grand Rising to everybody. Today is Tuesday, May the 31st, 2022. The time is 4:41 Central Standard Time AM. You know, this is one of those sleepless nights, guys. This is one of those sleepless nights that I'm having for some reason. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you what it probably was. I was on fucking YouTube watching these prison videos, right? And I started off watching it because I do it every so often because it's a constant reminder of why I don't go. Um, and it also causes me to thank the creator that after my seventh or eighth time going to Cook County Jail, that I discovered that it was all bullshit and that it wasn't about rehabilitating anybody, right? Let me say this. And I'm going to start off, I'm going to open it up like this. I understand that people do things, right? And they do things that's so foul that society has a place for them, right? And we call it penitentiaries and shit, prisons, right? The joint, you know. And I understand that, man. I understand that when you go out and you do certain things, unspeakable things, that there should be a place for you, right? So this is not to offend anybody who has been a victim of a violent crime. This video is not to offend somebody who may have had a loved one who was brutally murdered, or a woman who was raped, or whatever that heinous bullshit that people do. This ain't to offend anybody that's been through that, or the relatives or the friends of victims who've been through it. That's not what this video is about. This video is to shed some light on how this fucked up system that we know of as the United States use heinous shit that people do to play on people's heartstrings. Right? That's what this video is about. It's not to say that a motherfucker shouldn't go to prison for rape, and all that. I'm not here to say that. You shouldn't be breaking in people's crib. Like I'm in the crib right now, right? By myself. A motherfucker come breaking in my crib, I'm gonna pop his ass. I'm telling you, period. Period. I'm gonna pop this motherfucker. I'm talking about right now. I can hear a motherfucker breaking in my spot right now while I'm doing this video. And I'm going to put the phone down. I'm going to grab my motherfucking pistol. And I'm going to go to where the noise is coming from. And God forbid if he already inside the crib, I'm going to shoot him. Right? And I'm telling you that's what I'm going to do. You break in my house, I'm going to kill you. Especially if I'm home. Right? So I'm not here to disrespect anybody that has been the victim of some violence, some sort of near murder experience, or they have loved ones or friends that's been killed. And I'm not here to disrespect y'all. I'm not here to say that people shouldn't go to prisons or whatever. I'm here to talk about exactly what I just said, and that is how this fucked up ass system we know of as the United States corporation uses that type of heinous shit that people shouldn't be doing, to pull on a person's heartstring. In other words, there's an agenda behind it. Okay? It's not just about taking the person off the fucking street that committed the crime. There's an agenda. Okay? 27 CFR, and that's Code of Federal Regulations for the people who don't study. Right? 27 CFR 72.11 tells you that all crimes are commercial. When you add that to the fact that the prisons are privatized in this country, now you understand why I'm making this video. Here it is. You got a woman. I talk about this shit all the time. You got a woman that was raped. God forbid. But I want to use something really fucked up as an example as to what I mean, or as to the point that I'm trying to make. And, raping a woman or a man or a child or whatever, that's like some really bogus shit. Like seriously bogus, right? And that's why I'm using that as an example. Here it is. You got a woman who was raped and all fucked up and, yeah. Okay. So they catch the guy who did it. Okay. So you got this woman going back and forth to court to see to it that she gets justice from the guy that rapes her. Right? You got the guy coming back and forth to court every single day. He's on trial. Right? 27 CFR 72-11 tell you all crimes are commercial. Okay? And one day I'm going to do a video on that. One day we're going to do a screen share about just that. And I want to try to tie that into this video. But for the time being, y'all could go read 27 CFR 72.11. So here it is. The cops are making money. They arrested her. The prosecutor's making money. They prosecuting her. The fucking public defender or the defense attorney is making money. They represent him. The judge is making money. It's his job to be there. The fucking bailiff is there making money. It's their job to protect the court. Okay? The guy gets sentenced to prison. They send his ass off to prison. Now the prison is making money. Every motherfucking body got paid except for the woman that was raped. And it's not to say that she would take the money or not take the money if they offered it to her. That's not where I'm going with that. The point that I'm trying to make is, how in the fuck do you capitalize off somebody else's misery? How? How do you do that? How in the fuck do you sleep at night? I mean, we know how people do it. They just do it. How the fuck do you sleep at night capitalizing off of another motherfucker's sorrows? And the same thing go for a murder victim. Motherfucker get murdered or whatever. Everybody get paid except for the victim's family. Okay? Everybody gets paid except for the victim's family. In a rape case, everybody gets paid except for the woman or the man or the child that was raped. But yeah, here it is, man. I'm going on. I'm watching these two YouTube videos, and I can't remember the name of it, but the guy who did the fucking video, Bill Curtis, is one of the narrators. Well, he's the narrator of the fucking thing, right? The first part one that I watched was about the Supermax prison in Marion, Illinois. I didn't know that they were the first level 6 maximum security prison in the country. I didn't know that. I'm about 300 miles from Marion, Illinois. I had no idea. I had no idea they were the first level 6 maximum security prison the country ever seen. I had no idea that. And then, like, part 2, he's going off into the Supermax prison that's in Florence, Colorado, I believe is what they said this town was. Now, dig this shit. They, in the fucking interview that they doing, the documentary they doing about the Supermax prison in Colorado, they was talking about the people that are in that town welcome prisoners with open arms. I'm looking like, what? Then they go on to say that the people of that town got together, paid $130,000 for 600 acres of land, and then turned around and donated it to the Federal Bureau of Prisons. And then they go into talking about all of the accolades and shit. Since the prison has been up and running and it's full of people, and it's brought new jobs, and the population has doubled, and the lines at the grocery stores are longer. The lines in the banks are longer now. We're doing so much better. We're profiting. Once again, you profiting off of another man's sorrow or another group of people's sorrow. Because you think about the people that's in Florence prison for murder, rape, and all that. That means there are victims out there. There are victims' families and shit out there. And you motherfuckers out here making money off of another motherfucker's sorrow. I'm going to say this, and I hope everybody understand that there is no emotional shit behind what I'm finna say next. When this shit finally go up in flames, it'll be historical. When this shit finally go up, and keep in mind, I'm not wanting it to go up. I don't pray that this shit go up. I just know that it's gonna happen. And it may not be today and it may not be tomorrow, but it's gonna happen. When this fucking landmass over here they call America, when this shit fall, there are too many sick, vile, disgusting ass people in this country alone. And I ain't talking about the United States. I'm talking about the United States of America. There are so many vile, disgusting ass people in this country alone. It's not even funny. And I'm reading some of the comments, right? Now, throughout the entire motherfucking what's name, right? In part 2 of the documentary, I just turned it off. Because I'm like, this is probably why I'm still woke. And it wasn't the documentary itself that probably still got me woke. It was all them dumbass comments in the comment section. It's amazing how money, fear, and the thought of not having to have anything done to them as a recourse, it's amazing how people show their true colors under those circumstances. When a motherfucker could sit back on, in front of his laptop or with his phone in his hand and make idiotic ass comments and put that shit out there in the airwaves, thinking that there's no consequence for these dumbass comments that they leaving. It is so fucking sad. And that's probably why I'm still woke. I probably would have been asleep by now. You know what I'm saying? But the comments pissed me the fuck off. Throughout the entire documentary, part 1 and part 2, all they kept saying is mental illness, mental illness, mental illness, mental illness, schizophrenia, schizophrenia, schizophrenia. Every motherfucking body in there got mental illness. And it wasn't like they developed mental illness after they got to prison. They like, oh yeah, this motherfucker, he been battling mental illness. He's been hearing his voices since he was 15. My son told me he heard voices when he was 12, 13 years old. It didn't start till after they It didn't start until after his trifling ass mama to get a check when it had him put on ADHD medicine. Up until that, you never heard him say nothing about he heard voices. It's a well-known fact that some of the side effects of these fucking psychotropic drugs that they give motherfuckers, especially kids, causes motherfuckers to hear voices. And that's all you hearing in the documentary. Mental illness, mental illness, mental illness. Like these motherfuckers were fucked up before they went to prison. They was fucked up when they were kids. This one motherfucker man was on there talking about how his father molested him. And he told the whole fucking detailed story about how his father, I forgot how old he said he was. He was real young though, real young little boy at the time when it happened. He said his father came and jumped in the bathtub with him and this, that, and the other, and he jumped out the bathtub and tried to run away from him, and he caught him and he held him down and he molested him. And I can't remember exactly how much time later had passed, but he went on into telling you about how he slit that motherfucker throat. His own father slit his throat, and he said he was eating part of his brain or some old shit. I'm not a violent person, man. Anybody who know me know that I'm not a violent person. I don't condone it. I learned at a very young age that harming people was easy, like physically hurting people. This is why all you get from me when it comes down to police officers is that they're cowards. Law enforcement, cowards. Correctional officers, cowards. Because it's very easy to harm somebody. And I'm talking about physically. It is not hard to hurt somebody. It's not. It's really not. As a matter of fact, physically harming somebody is probably one of the easiest things to do next to walking and talking. And see, I learned it at a young age. You know what I'm saying? Because like I told y'all before in the past, one of the things that kept me out of prison and one of the things that kept me or caused me to get out of the streets from selling drugs and all this other shit was by the time I was really old enough to where these punk ass motherfuckers within this fucking law enforcement system would start to take notice of me. By the time I got to that age, so many of my friends I had their fucking brains blown out So many of my homies, man, went to prison. I got a motherfucking homie, man, that I ran the streets with over in Ragtown back in the 90s, 91, 92, over there on 117th and Peoria. You know what I'm saying? Shot one of the folks on the accident. Killed him. Total mistake. Fucking around with guns and shit. Shot this nigga on the accident, right? Now they was homies. We all knew each other. He didn't kill him on purpose. His own motherfucking family came to court and told them it was an accident. They gave fam like 40 motherfucking years for that. He's still in there right now. He should be on his way out. He should be out or on his way out now. The motherfucker was 17, 18 years old when this happened. I'm 45 years old. This happened back in like 94, 93, anywhere between 92 and 94 is when this happened. Shot folks on the accident, killed him. His family came to court and was like, we know he should be punished and, y'all ain't going to just turn and look the other way. But it was an accident. They gave that man 40-some motherfucking years for that. He was a child when they did that. Right? So I'm on here, I'm looking at all these dumbass fucking comments, right, that I'm reading. And on a few of them, I would comment and cuss a stupid motherfucker out, tell they bitch ass to go read 27 CFR 72.11. Go learn something, nigga. That's what I was saying to a great deal of the motherfuckers that I did comment on. Then, I would leave comments like, well, what about Hunter Biden? And what about the rest of these other motherfuckers? Because keep in mind, I'm not finna just lash out at Hunter Biden. You know why? Because I want all of them. You can't just put Hunter Biden in prison. You can't just put Catholic priest so-and-so in prison and leave everybody else to walk around out here scot-free doing the same motherfucking shit that Hunter Biden and Catholic priests and God knows whoever else, motherfuckers in Hollywood, politicians, and God knows whoever else is doing. You got to take all of them motherfuckers. So I'm leaving random comments like, what about Hunter Biden, man? What about motherfuckers like him and all these other motherfuckers that's getting away with shit? What about motherfuckers like R. Kelly? What about people like Michael Jackson? I don't believe none of the motherfuckers was innocent when it come down to the shit that they were saying that these people were involved in. Why? Because that's their culture. That's their way. When you come into their life, you either do what they do or you won't be in their life. You won't be in their world. And that go for Bill Cosby. Because like I told you, all of his so-called victims were men. All of his so-called alleged victims. They were trannies, man. Straight up. You can't point now, what they say about 30, 35 of these motherfuckers that he was supposed to did this to. I even seen a picture with all of these faces on there that these alleged motherfuckers he did that to. I didn't spot not one motherfucker that was born a woman. They was all trannies. So you think Bill Cosby is innocent? Get the fuck out of here. He guilty of something. You think R. Kelly is innocent? Fuck out of here with that bullshit. I want to hear that. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about that man's skin tone. He out there doing that bullshit that he was doing. Now, there were allegations, especially with this last bullshit that was supposed to happen with him, where he had some bitch locked up in his crib and all sort of shit, some little girl or whatever. And they were saying that, the parents, sold her off or whatever the fuck the parents were supposed to have been involved. They supposed to knew about it. Put it like that. Whether if that shit is true or not, it still don't change the fact of who the fuck R. Kelly is. Don't change that. Especially when you have a prolonged history of the same shit. Starting with Aaliyah. Right? Now, I know people, now I personally don't know R. Kelly, personally. I don't know him. Never met him. But I know plenty of motherfuckers who knew him. And one thing they all had in common, they all played basketball. That's the one thing that they all had in common. Of the people that I know that know him, they all got that one thing in common. They used to play basketball together. And when you talk to some of these brothers who know him about that underage girl shit, they all just drop their head. The minute you found, oh, you used to hoop with R. Kelly? Your older brothers used to hoop with R. Kelly? Man, so what's up with that underage girl shit, man? Is he really out there sniffing little girls and shit? And motherfuckers just drop their head. Won't even look at you. They just bow their motherfucking head. Okay? You done married Aaliyah, allegedly. You supposed to be pissing on kids and shit, allegedly. You got little girls locked up in your crib, allegedly. It's too much shit going on. It's too much motherfucking shit. And like how I said, these fucking Greek fag Roman motherfuckers who came here and brought that bullshit with them, that we are all in now, the R. Kellys, the Tyler Perrys, the Bill Cosbys, they all a part of that shit. You ain't gonna just tell me that this is a smear campaign for all of these so-called black men. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. As if we didn't molest children. As if we're just completely innocent as melanated men and women to children being molested. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. I don't want to hear that shit. So if they were putting motherfuckers like this in prison, or whatever the case may be, and don't give me that shit about Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby didn't do a fucking day in prison. He didn't do a day in prison. The day that they was supposed to allegedly took Bill Cosby into fucking custody, Bill Cosby walked back out of the courtroom the same way he walked in when he first got there. Because you can see the pictures of him holding his hands up with his hand. He was handcuffed in the front. And study in the back. That's red flag number 1. He came back out the front door of the courtroom and was walking down the fucking hallway with his hands in the air like this to show the fucking handcuffs on. And even motherfuckers that's been in and out of prison half their fucking life missed that. They totally missed it. You know how many motherfucking niggas that has been taken into custody when they went into court was taken into custody and they missed it? Motherfucker, when do you come back out the front door? When have you ever been taken into custody in court and they let you go back out the same door you came in? They take your ass out through the back. You walk past the judge's chambers and all kind of shit going back into lockup. Nigga, don't tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I done been to motherfucking Cook County Jail 7 or 8 motherfucking times. Don't tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So don't give me that shit about Bill Cosby with the prison. No, the fuck he didn't. That man didn't do a day in prison. Not one motherfucking day. The whole goddamn thing from beginning to end was a psyop. Just like when you hear all of the filthy nonsense about all of these people going to jail for tax evasion and Wesley Snipes and blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Now, I'm not going to deny that they probably got some idiot that was fresh and popped his ass off for income tax evasion, whether if he was a rapper or a football player or in Hollywood, right? I'm not going to deny that that might have happened. But I will also say this. It only happened because that motherfucker didn't want to play ball. Okay? He didn't want to go along with whatever their ritualistic ass clique that they got in football and in fucking rap and in Hollywood. Okay? Because you don't have to fucking pay taxes. Paying taxes is voluntary. I covered this shit already. Matter of fact, I was talking to a sister the other day and she was like, did you hear back from Charles Riddick yet? Because, I told y'all I sent a revocation of election to Charles Riddick, the fucking IRS commissioner. You know what I'm saying? And I told her, I was like, nah, I ain't heard back from him, But like I told her, I said, that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing that he ain't responded. You know why? Because his acquiescence means that's an admission of agreement. And it's like how I told her, I say, because I haven't found a return in so long, you know what I'm saying? One of the reasons why I sent the motherfucking letter was to avoid any upcoming audit. You're gonna have to respond to why y'all ain't respond to the fucking letter I sent Charles Riddick before you can audit me. That would be the first thing I brought up in tax court. Okay? I sent the letter certified mail to him. They sent me back the signature card where somebody signed for that letter I sent out to him. And plus, you can go on the post office website, like I showed y'all in the other video, you know what I'm saying, about how to send your shit prepaid. You can go into the post office website and track the shit. They got it. They got the fucking letter. You know what I'm saying? Paying taxes is fucking voluntary, man. So don't tell me all this shit about all these high-powered ass motherfucking actors and celebrities is going to fucking prison for not paying taxes. They've been talking shit about Donald Trump tax returns since the 90s. That's how he got to sit in front of that Senate commission back in 92, where he was talking about, goddamn it, they don't look like real Indians to him, and to the Indians, they don't look like real Indians to them either. That's how that shit came about. Because they were trying to pop his ass like good reefer for not paying taxes then. Here it is, doing his campaign thing. When he ran for president shit, they talk shit about tax. Ain't nothing happened to this motherfucker, man. Here it is, you study hearing rumors. Oh, yeah, they're going to file charges against Donald Trump. No, they're not. And any charges they do file will be fake as a fucking $3 bill. Okay? It's just that fucking simple. But they'll put people in prison like me and you, right? They'll put somebody in prison for murdering one person, but they won't put elected officials and people that are a member of so-called this fake-ass government and motherfuckers that are in law enforcement that kill with no impunity, man, and get off for it. I was watching another YouTube video earlier. I didn't know that the fucking police department had gangs and shit. I was watching that shit like, what the fuck? And this was out in L.A., like L.A. County and shit. They was naming off all these different motherfucking sheriff's departments that got gangs and shit. These niggas are gangbangers. How the fuck are you a gangbanger with a badge? How? I need somebody to chime in on that too. I gotta hit my man Shot the Higher up. Cause that nigga from California, you know what I'm saying? I gotta hit him up and see if he know anything about that shit. Because I heard nothing about no bullshit like that. The executioners, the jump out boys, and some other shit. And it's like, wait a minute, man, y'all going around doing organized hits and shit on other gang members? And y'all gang members with a badge? What kind of fucking sick, vile shit is this? Woo-wee, I'm gonna say it again. When this country, man, when the shit reaches a pivotal point, and it's coming. See, one of the mistakes that people are making right now is they think that at some point shit is going to go back to normal. All this subside and blah, 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 blah. Stupid motherfuckers. But when this shit reaches a pivotal point, I don't know if I'll be dead or alive. I don't know. But what I do know is that, ooh. And like I say, I don't advocate for violence, man. I don't. I learned at a young age that hurting people physically, killing people and all of that, is easy. It's not hard, man. It's not hard to hurt somebody. It's not. And I'm not saying it from like a tough standpoint, like I'm tough and shit. I don't mean it like that. I mean exactly how I said. Harming somebody physically is not hard. It's not hard, man. It's a lot easier to walk away. I'm sorry, it's not as easy to walk away as it is to harm somebody. It's much easier to harm a person than it is to walk away from whatever it is that they pissed you off about that caused you to want to harm them. This is why I call the police cowards and shit. That's why. Because it ain't hard. It's not hard to harm people, man. The police fuck people's lives up every fucking day by enforcing policy. Get right with the Creator, man. That's my only concern. Because, they've been saying shit to you like prepare. You got to start prepping, stock up, and stay prayed up, and you know what I'm saying? All this other shit. And in reality, man, the only thing that a motherfucker really should be doing is getting right with the creator. You know, I'm hearing shit on the internet about get your house in order and all this other shit. Mm-mm. Get right with the creator. Yeah, that's the only thing you need to do. Get right with the creator, man. Whether if you want to call him God, Allah, and whatever the fuck you want to call it. Get right with the creator, man. Be prepared to die with some dignity. Take pleasure in dying knowing that you wasn't like the rest of the assholes of this world. That you wasn't evil and corruptible and weak. A corrupt man is a weak man. Straight up. Even if it's only momentarily. A corrupt man is a weak man. A corrupt man is a weak man because he don't have the courage to do what's right. That could be the judge, the prosecutor, law enforcement, whoever. It could be your next door neighbor. It don't fucking matter. A corrupt man is a weak man because he does not have the courage to do what's right. And we all around it. Weakness is everywhere. The cops are weak. That's why the first thing they do is call for backup or pull out a gun. It's either one or the other or a combination of the two. The motherfucker could be on his shoulder and pulling out a pistol at the same motherfucking time. They know they're outnumbered. Shit, 1,000 to 1. They know. That's why all of their tactics is based around fear and coercion. We have to wake up, man. Some people will. There are some folks waking up. There are some people that are doing the best they can to separate themselves from the old information, i.e., the old them. They're trying to separate themselves from it. And it's happening. Because like I said, look at how they drastically accelerating shit. Now you want to try to convince me that a monkey gave me a rash and shit. Nigga, I live in Chicago. Ain't no fucking monkeys here, B. Where the monkeys at? You coming to me with some Planet of the Apes shit. Fucking monkey pox. Get your dumb ass the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Get right with the creator, man. Because in the end, when it's all said and done, that's the only thing that's gonna matter. Now, I don't believe in all that Jesus shit and Prophet Muhammad and all that. I don't believe in none of that bullshit. But something or someone created this fucking planet, the oxygen we breathe, the water we drink, and the fucking food we eat. Haven't you noticed that the shit that they want to take control over the most, none of them is responsible for creating it? They want to control the air, they want to control the land, and they want to control the sea and everything in it and above it and on it. But they didn't create none of it. None of it. All water was here before all these bastards was born. George Soros, the fucking Bidens, Trump, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, whoever the fuck you want to name. Water was here before all of them. But it's mighty motherfucking funny you trying to control something you didn't fucking create. And to make it so bad, you can only mimic it. You can only mimic water. You can't create it. You can only mimic air, oxygen. You can bottle it up and shit, compress it and all of that, but you can't create it. But you want to control it. Well, I've been on here 34 minutes, a little longer than what I had wanted to be, but shit, hell, I ain't even sleepy. I just want to get on here real quick, man, and discuss that. The life that we live, man, everybody take a step back. and take a look in the mirror. Take a look at your fucking self and say, here's the problem right here. I'm not asking you all or suggesting to you all to do nothing I ain't already did. Go and look in the fucking mirror right now and say, here's the problem. Because that's what it is. The problem is in all of us. Ain't no one motherfucker the problem. Even if it's from a situation from an Aboriginal standpoint, right? Where we just sat back and we tolerated this shit for whatever the reason is to get us to where we are now. That's a problem. Your tolerance and a high level of it is a problem. So once again, go look in the mirror, man. Go stare at yourself in the mirror and say, here's the problem right here. It's the original Lone Wolf, man. Much love to y'all. I'm going to try to get on here and make a couple of videos a week. You know what I'm saying? And within a couple of videos, you know, let some of them be screen shares. But you already know that, man. I ain't got no problem with coming on here showing y'all nothing. If I have any type of information that I think is going to be relevant into opening up the eyes of the intentionist people, man, and realizing that this shit has been a giant con, you know, whatever information I got to share to make that happen, I do it. And y'all know that, especially the motherfuckers that's been rocking with me from day one. A lot of the cats that's on Discord and shit that, you know, watch my videos and shit, y'all already know how I feel about that, man. I talk to a lot of y'all behind the scenes. You know, some of y'all, I got y'all phone numbers and shit. We communicate. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know I'm serious about that, man. If I got some information that I feel is going to be relevant and it'll be helpful, yeah, I get on here and share it, man. What else am I supposed to do? So I'm going to try to make a few videos a week with, you know, at least half of that few being screen shares. But anyway, this is the original Lone Wolf, man. Much love to y'all. To be aware is to be alive, man. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. And it ain't nothing wrong with you defending yourself. Oh, yeah, one last thing. I knew it was something else I wanted to talk about. This motherfucking shooting in Texas. Can somebody explain to me these bizarre-ass stories that is coming out? First, this motherfucker was supposed to shot a motherfucker and left the crib and they knew he was on his way up to the school and they did nothing. Then there's a report that he's supposed to shot fucking 10, 12 people outside the parking lot of the school. And then he was able to just walk in the school and be in the school for a fucking hour shooting at little kids. Something just don't seem right about that picture, man. I have a hard motherfucking time believing that little 8, 9-year-olds or little 5th and 6th grade motherfucking kids was the target. They say it took the police an hour before they finally stormed the school. So wait a minute, you stood out in the parking lot for an hour listening to gunshots beat? And you expect for me to believe that? I heard a story that they say some border patrol agents or some, because they were saying something about the parents was trying to go into school and the cops stopped the parents. Then some sort of border patrol agents came and the cops were supposed to try to stop them, but they said fuck off and they went in there and allegedly ended the threat. And you expect for me to believe that shit? I don't believe that shit. I don't believe it. Period. This is another one of the motherfucking situations where they use some shit to pull on your fucking heartstring. Now, here's what I will say. If that shooting was true, if it's real, and them kids really got killed like that, then fuck every cop in this fucking country. Straight up. Not just the motherfucking cops in Texas, but cops all over the fucking country. Fuck you. Fuck all of y'all. If that story is true. And I'm talking about everything that they've been reporting. The cops stayed outside for over an hour. I'm just not understanding that. You stayed outside for an hour, You the fucking police. You stayed outside for an hour listening to gunshots hearing gunshots come out of a fucking elementary school, family, and you stayed out in the fucking parking lot, the police? First off, I don't believe that. That's first and foremost. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe the motherfucker was able to just walk up in the school, especially after shooting 5-10 motherfuckers in the parking lot. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And then you just walked in the motherfucking school? Y'all keep forgetting the original Lone Wolf did that single father shit. You keep forgetting that. I should take my son to school. I should pick him up from school. And I'm talking about when he was in motherfucking 5th, 6th grade. You can't just walk in them fucking schools. You can't just walk in them schools, man. That was red flag number 1. That was the first red flag. If that story is true, and I'm talking about everything, the kids being murdered, the fucking two teachers that were supposed to have been murdered, the cops waiting outside for an hour and all that shit. If that shit is the truth, that was a fucking blood sacrifice. Period. Period. You can say what the fuck you want, you get mad, I don't give a fuck. That was a blood sacrifice. Not to mention, I don't believe it. That's first and foremost, but y'all know me, I play devil's advocate. That's how I get to the bottom of shit. Okay? I play devil's advocate. Most people know me, know that. Most people who know me, they know that's how I get down. That's part of my comprehension. I like to play devil's advocate. So you telling me, family, this fucking asshole is in here blowing away little kids? Little kids, man. 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. This motherfucker in school blowing away kids for over an hour, and you niggas stood in the parking lot? And then now all of a sudden, here it is, Joe Biden talking about, what did he say? The Second Amendment is not absolute or some shit. Now they want to take away motherfuckers' guns and all this other bullshit. And it's like, well, you need to take the cops' guns. Why don't you fucking take their guns? They ain't using them. Wait a minute, you mean to tell me you can pull over a brother and blow his fucking head off at a simple traffic stop, no guns was found, nothing, but you let some fucking asshole go up in the elementary school and blow away little kids? And you stood out in the parking lot as law enforcement for an hour while you listening to gunshots inside of a school where little kids are getting blown away? Get the fuck out of here, man. It's the original Lone Wolf. Much love to y'all.